So I want to share something with you real quick, and Holton, all of you guys have alluded to the fact, and I just want to kind of train on a generic level, So let me give you an example. So right here, I am holding five $20 US bills. So this represents, and I want you to look at it, this represents 100 US dollars, 100 US dollars. But here it is. This is just paper. And what I'm sharing with you right now is I want you to think entrepreneur, not consumer. Consumer says, oh my God, I have 5 pieces of paper that add up to 100 US dollars. What can I go buy? And typically we would go buy something to impress other people. I want you to hear what I'm saying. We have been trained to buy things to go impress other people. Let me tell you what has not gone down in the midst of the coronavirus. The cost of commercials. The cost of commercials right now during the coronavirus has gone up. Why? Because more people are at home than the history of mankind. More people are trapped in their house watching TV, watching news. So if more eyeballs are watching news, guess what? The cost of commercials go up. But the media outlets, the owners think, I'm going to use this extra money that I have to buy commercial space. That's the value of this piece of paper. If you are a consumer, you think to yourself, I've got money, where can I spend it? An entrepreneur says, I got money, where can I place it? You see what I just said? Anybody could spend money. Entrepreneurs place the money. Now, this is what one of our mentors, Mr. Edwin Haynes, was alluding to when he talked about, money just switching hands. I'm going to say it in a different way, but I'm going to say the exact same thing. During the midst of any economical crisis, you can call it a recession, whatever you want. The reason I don't use the word recession because I just don't participate. Like 90% of the planet can participate in a recession, and I just not participate. So you have the option of saying, listen, I'm going to participate with the world and say that I'm in a recession. No, I'm going to participate with the entrepreneurs and say I am building while most people are complaining about falling. But here's where the mindset comes from. I don't look at this as money. I look at it as currency. Now, hear me out. Now, listen, you want to know how I have developed a multi-million-dollar mindset? A multi-million-dollar mindset. Year after year after year, my business has increased, at least for the last 15 years, which means when everybody else was having a recession, I was going up. How did I do that? It's the way I think about money. See, you see the masses see 5 $20 US bills that adds up to 100 US dollars. I see currency. Why? This happened to me right after 9/11. Right after 9/11, when the World Trade Center was hit, and thousands of people died within a matter of minutes. Thousands of people. And economies just started getting paranoid, and everybody, rightfully so, was what's next? What's going to happen? Is this the end of the world? My mindset was, where'd the money go? See, nobody has burnt any paper. The money is not at the bottom of the ocean hiding. People say, oh my God, coronavirus, we're going to go through a recession. No, you're going to go through a recession. But there are people who are going to prosper because their mindset is entrepreneur. You have to understand, in any denomination, in Jamaica, in Northeast Africa, in Europe, in every country, we all have currency. And the currency, whether it's a coin or a piece of paper, it's a legal tender that basically says it justifies the value and gives permission to trade. That's all it is. It's permission to trade. And you get to trade for whatever good or services that you want. So here's the deal. In a recession, the money is not at the bottom of the ocean. The money is not burnt. Nobody threw the money away. It's still there. The question is, where did it go? Edwin Haynes says, what hand did it switch to? Now, here's what I want you to understand. The only reason it's called currency in every single denomination, in every market on the planet, money is called currency. Why? What does a current do? A current moves. So I see money as something that moves, not something that spins. If you're in debt, it's because you see money as something to spend. I see money as something to move. I'm making the largest purchase of my life right now in the next 72 hours. Why? Because I see money as something that moves. Currency moves. That's why it's called current. What do rivers do? What do oceans do? What do lakes do? The water moves. There's a current. So if it's called a current, it's called a current for a reason. It's because nobody burns it. Nobody's throwing it away. Nobody's hiding it at the bottom of the ocean. You just got to figure out, where did it go? If it left this hand and it went to this hand, did you participate in the movement? That's really what you want to understand. How do you position yourself to ride the current, to ride the wave? Not just ride the wave, how do you position yourself to be ahead of the wave? So when the wave hits and the current comes, how do you get on that wave and ride it? That's how an entrepreneur thinks. Now listen, right now, for the first time in mankind, this has never happened in the history since there was Adam and Eve on this planet. Never has this happened. For the first time in your history, my history, your parents' history, your grandparents' history, and so forth and so on, for the first time ever, everyone is focused on one word, and that word is called the coronavirus. Everybody is focused on social distancing. Everybody is focused on keeping their families safe and at home. Everybody is worried about toilet paper. Everybody is worried about things that the media is telling us to worry about. What I'm worried about is the currency. Where is the current going to move? For the first time in history, the whole planet is saying stay home. But also for the first time in history, your boss, the owner of your company, your CEO and your president of whatever company you work for or work with is figuring out, how can we keep business moving while my employees are at home? So for the first time, the world is agreeing that it's possible to make money from home. This has never happened. It has never happened where the whole world pauses and says, is it possible to make money from home? Normally what they say is, oh my God, it's one of those things. Home-based business. My Uncle Cornbread did one of those. It didn't work for him, so it won't work for me. Holton Bugg said this the other day, where someone said it, and it led back to Holton, but they said, when was the last, how often do you compare yourself with people who lose? Well, I know somebody who lost in a home-based business. It didn't work for them. How often do you compare yourself with losers? And how much more of that do you want in your life that you compare yourself with losers? Why not compare yourself with winners? Martha is winning in the midst of a crisis. Horace is winning in the midst of a crisis. Michael Jackson is winning. Clay Feshman is winning. Lloyd is winning. Jen and Alex are winning. Thomas and Annie are winning. Edwin Haynes is winning. Fernanda is winning. Jose Luis is winning. In the midst of crisis, you have all these people who are winning, and I boomerang. Why? Because the first time, listen, we've been telling people, I want to stand up so bad, but my head will be cut off. People right now around the world, for the first time, are understanding that you can make money from home. The point is, the problem is, you only believe it because your boss is saying it now. You only believe it because society is saying you can take your computer home and make money for your boss at home, which means it's always been possible for you to make money at home. But the question is, are you going to make money for you at home? Are you going to build a legacy for your children's children for you because you're already in the mindset of working at home? Here's the trick. How do you position yourself? Because the current is coming. The current is happening whether you see it or not. Currency is happening. It is moving, guys. Money is moving from one hand to the other. There is a current happening right now. How do you position yourself? Home-based business. What's the best home-based business to be involved with right now? It's technology. It's not a consumable product. Nobody trusts, or when I order things right now and it comes to my doorstep, I spray it with alcohol even before it enters my house. People are paranoid even with things being delivered to your house. So lipstick will go down. Nobody cares about lipstick right now. They care about living. Nobody cares about, water purification systems being sent to their house right now, or nutritionals or products or vitamins. I'm not saying they don't care. The trust factor. Who's delivering it to my house? But technology is going up. How do I know? We're not even broadcasting live on Facebook right now. I'm going to rebroadcast this on Facebook as soon as this is over, and I'm going to rebroadcast it live and do, live watch parties. Why? Because technology with Facebook has so many interruptions right now. Why? Because people are at home on social media. More so than ever right now. So here's the thing. Position yourself for the current. You can wait for everybody to start traveling again and then say, I want to get in position. No, that's not how it works. The current passed you because you waited. So now you're going to ride a current that has already passed you. So you're riding behind a wave. And I'm not saying you can't be successful riding behind a wave. But for the smart people, for the Martha, for the Horace, for the, so many leaders who are out there, so many new people who have joined in the last 4 weeks that are making things happen. So many new people who joined in the last 7 days that are welcoming new people to their, to their private groups and their chats. Now, this is really where you want to pour it on. If you want to position yourself ahead of the wave, listen, number one thing that happens in the midst of a crisis right now, the number one thing that's happening right now is Netflix memberships are going through the roof. On-demand video orders right now, movies, comedy, whatever it is, it's going through the roof right now. Why? Because people want to laugh, people want to smile. So Netflix, Amazon, Apple TV, so many networks out there are prospering. Why? Listen to me very carefully, guys. You've got to understand how currency works. You've got to understand that it's moving with or without you. I'm excited right now because I'm giving you some information that I love to teach, and I charge about $5,000 an hour to teach this information. You're getting it for free. If you want to position yourself ahead of currency, you got to think entrepreneur. Netflix right now, their biggest problem is to stay alive. Not because they're drowning in the lack of money, they are drowning in the abundance of people, the abundance of memberships, the abundance of people renewing their subscription and not letting it fall. Why? See, here's the thing you got to focus on. Why are people watching TV right now, movies and comedy shows and record-breaking numbers? Why? Because people want that 2-hour, that 90-minute mental vacation from reality. I guarantee if Holt is listening to me right now, there's no way he can golf. Because he can hear it in my voice. 90-minute mental vacation from reality. People, that's a virtual vacation. But typically it only lasts 90 minutes to 2 hours, and then you're going to see news again. So if the entire masses are running to on-demand television and social media for that mental vacation from reality, what do you think they're going to do when the virus is gone? You think they're going to go on real vacations now? They're already taking those mental virtual vacations. Guys, listen to me. iBoomerang is ahead of the wave right now. Vibe Rides is ahead of the wave. Everybody is here panicking. And everything on the planet says the current is going to be travel. The current is going to be technology. And iBoomerang is ahead of the current saying, we're waiting. And the wave is going to pick us all up at the same time. And some of your children's children will participate in your wealth because of the decisions that you will make today. So let me ask you a question. Is it better to be recruiting customers and recruiting ambassadors to be in iBoomerang? Is it better to do it now as we are moving towards what's inevitable? The inevitable is this virus will be destroyed. And people are going to be walking out their doors for the first time in a way they haven't walked out in a very long time coming out of this virus. So no longer are they looking for that mental vacation. They're going to be looking for the real deal. Do you want to be in position to offer the real deal now? Or do you want to wait until the virus is gone? Entrepreneurs are saying, let's do it now. Let's get positioned now. So here's what I encourage you to do. You need to use technology in your favor. We have presentations every single day on Boom TV. It's always live. We have one coming up, I believe, in 45 minutes from now. If I'm right, give me a thumbs up to make sure I'm correct. It's Sunday, so maybe a little bit different. But there are presentations that are be going on. The person who sponsored you in iBoomerang, get into your live chats, get into your Facebook pages, whatever it is, and find out when the next presentation is going to happen today. Because all you got to do from the comfort of your own home, you're building your small army. Let's say you get 5 people that you personally bring in as ambassadors during the crisis. And let's just say in the next couple of weeks. And those 5 people get 5 people. That's 25 people. And those 25 people get 5 people. Now I believe that's 125. And those 125 people get 5 people. Now you're almost to 1,000. And let's just say all of those individuals by the end of the year create 10 free customers. Do you understand what just happened? Because you didn't wait for the cure. You positioned yourself ahead of the cure. This is the time where you need to be going non-stop building your organization. Because listen, entrepreneurs think, how can I position myself ahead of where the current is going? How do I get ahead of it? This is how you get ahead of it. You get as many ambassadors in your team in the next 90 days than you ever dreamed of having. Because they're at home, they're thinking home-based business, and everybody is looking for something to do. Number 2, you get as many customers in your organization as you can. Why? Because people are at home. It's free to become a customer. They can browse the internet. They can take those mental vacations, looking at our deals, looking at the prices. Listen, the prices of flights, the prices of vacations right now are at an all-time low. I don't know that we'll ever live to see these prices again. We have the product that only our free customers have access to see exist. Only our ambassadors have access to see that it exists. We're booking vacations already for November. Why? Because they're so cheap right now. Be the message that you bring. Be a product of the product. Go book something. I don't care if it's 6 months or a year from now. Go book something on your website and start bragging about how amazing your company is, and do a screenshot of where you booked. Then people are going to start DMing you. Are you crazy? Why are you thinking about travel right now in the midst of a crisis? I'm not thinking about travel right now in the midst of a crisis. I'm thinking about positioning myself to make money during the crisis, so I can use the money that I'm making during the crisis to go have fun after the crisis. You see the mindset? You see the mindset? So think entrepreneur, don't think consumer. The world thinks consumer. The world thinks consumption. Entrepreneurs think, how do I position myself?